always feel like I look like somebody came and just wiped me with whiteout whenever I film. I don't know what it is. Back it up. Hey guys, my name is Kerry. If you're new to my channel, welcome. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Today's video is going to be, I don't know why I'm shouting. Relax. Today's video is going to be all about bikini waxes, getting wax down there, getting hairs ripped out of your veg. We're talking about it today. I actually have a previous wax guide video that looks like this, and I would recommend actually clicking on that video first if you haven't seen it already, because in that video I'm going to answer some questions that I might not necessarily address fully in this video since they've already been answered. However, that video is more specifically geared towards Brazilian waxes and my experience and how to prepare for a Brazilian, whereas this video is going to be a general view of waxing. So I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I'm going to get right into all of the main questions you might have about getting waxed down there. So just make sure to follow me on my social medias, hit that subscribe button. Let's get it. Get it. I really need to stop. But make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss videos like this one on my channel, and we're just gonna get right into everything you need to know. Okay, so let's first start off by talking about why you should get waxed over getting any other type of hair removal at all. So first things first, I say this in all of my body related videos, but I don't think anyone should go and get their hair removed on their body unless they want to. If it's not a you choice, don't make it a choice at all, okay? Don't feel like you have to get hair removed off of your vag just because society tells you to do so, because society tells you that females shouldn't have hair on their bodies. Even if you're a dude and you're watching this video and you're thinking about getting hair removed, don't do it because you feel like other people expect it from you. Do it because you want to, okay? It's 2018. Let's get it right. With that being said, there are different types of hair removal you can get, from waxing to epilators, but you have different forms of hair removal, and I personally am a wax advocate when it comes to hair removal down there, just because it's so much better. It's 10 out of 10, okay? 11 out of 10. Flame emojis all around. To put it simply, shaving, you have to do it super frequently. It's tedious. You can cut yourself if you don't know what you're doing. It easily leads to ingrown hairs, darkness. It's just not, you're probably used to shaving if you're watching this video, because I was a shaver. It's not worth it, okay? It's not worth it. And then there's also epilators, or things in which they can rip the hair out one by one. That is similar to waxing because it rips the hair out, but I just feel like that is more painful, and it tends to be a little bit more expensive if you get like an epilator machine done, so wouldn't recommend that. And then there's also Nair, or like chemical hair remover, which I don't know if they make any chemicals specifically for your vag, but I wouldn't recommend that at all. That just doesn't sound right. And I was the type of girl who was stupid and didn't like to completely follow directions when it came to like Nair and stuff, so I always ended up burning like my legs, or I had patches that were really sensitive on my armpits whenever I used chemical hair remover, so I just would not recommend that. And laser hair removal is another option, but you have to do it several times and it's expensive, and some people say it's painful, so waxing it is. Waxing does produce pain. I'm not gonna lie and say that it feels like you're walking in the park, the birds are chirping, animals are singing, squirrels are sharing their nuts, because that's not how it is. You will feel pain, but for me, I have a high pain tolerance, so I go in there and I'm like, girl, let's do this, and it's so easy. But some people might scream, cry, and your crying could range from crocodile tears that are just huge to shedding one tear like Denzel Washington in Glory. But I'm telling you, the pain is not that bad, and it's totally worth the results of waxing. With waxing, it's not as costly. It's gonna cost more than shaving for sure, but it's not as costly as the other options, and you get longer results than shaving, and over time, it's like tweezing or ripping your hair out of any other part of your body. Your hair will stop growing over time. You just have to go consistently. But the hair that grows back is so much different than shaving. It's not stubbly, it's not weird and prickly and uncomfortable. You have less likelihood of getting ingrown hairs or darkness in those areas. It's just a great option. Let's go into the different geometrical shapes you can get on your vag. Some people like to play this little art game and decide, I want to keep some of the hair on my vag and take the rest off. I never thought that made sense to me. Like, if you're gonna wax, just get it all taken off, but some people don't feel that way. So there are different shapes that you There are different shapes that you can choose, and there's different places that will call it different things or use different terminology. So this is the basic terminology, but if you go to a certain place and they have different words and you're like, I don't know what the heck this is, just make sure to talk to the specialist there. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you. For a basic rundown though, if you're all natural, that means you have everything Mother Nature gave you. Okay, everything is still there. You're embracing it. You're channeling your inner 70s Woodstock type of person, and that's totally fine. You can stay this way if you want to. It's totally up to you. Live your life, live your best life. And then there's some people who get the bikini line, which is the most basic. Usually I would probably recommend this for anyone who's new to waxing just to see if you like it, but it's when they just take off any of the hair that would be seen when you're wearing a bikini. So it's just it's kind of like trimming it in. It's equivalent to like filling in your eyebrows and then putting concealer around it so that you can have like really fleeky eyebrows but you still have hair there. That's like a bikini line. Then there's some people who get a like bikini full, and this is where the terminology kind of changes, because the full you can get everything taken off, but there's some people who like shapes. So you can get like that little Bermuda Illuminati triangle on your badge if you want and keep it there. Some people get like a Hitler stash or that landing strip because I guess they're looking for airplanes or just right there. I don't know. Some people like it. But you can also get that, and that kind of counts as a bikini full. You can control how much hair you have left if you have hair at all, but usually they take everything off. And then there's the Brazilian, which some people call the Hollywood, and that's when they take everything off plus your butt crack. So once you decide what shape you want and all that kind of stuff, you have to start preparing for your wax appointment, and the biggest thing is to make sure that your hair is long enough. I got this question a lot, even though I did go over it in my first video, but your hair should be about 1/4 of an inch, something that you can literally kind of pull on, but it doesn't have to be long, okay? They're not trying to sit here and wax bushes. They're not gardeners, they're not barbers, they're wax specialists, okay? So it doesn't have to be crazy long. Usually 3 to 4 weeks of growth is long enough, but if you're shaving, you probably don't even need to wait that long. You could probably wait like a week to 2 weeks, but if you're waxing, once you get one wax, you're gonna have to wait about 4 weeks, and you'll have the perfect amount of growth. The next thing I have to say is, again, it does have some type of pain to it. Like, you will feel the pain. I can't really explain it to you, again, because I have a high pain tolerance, so I feel it and I'm like, okay, this is what it is. But I know some people might not feel that way. But there are some tips online that tell you to like have a glass of wine before you go in. Don't do that, especially if you know you have a low pain tolerance. Alcohol consumption actually will make your skin more sensitive, so in the long run you're making it more painful by having a glass of wine before you go in. I would recommend just taking ibuprofen with you and taking it after, so that way you're not on medication or anything when it's getting done. Your skin is at its least sensitive state, its normal state, and then you can just take some ibuprofen and call it a day. Also, when it comes to exfoliating and hydrating the skin, that's another question that a lot of people have. Your skin needs to be exfoliated and hydrated, however, you do not want to do either of those things directly before your wax appointment. I would say, as far as exfoliation goes, don't use any scrubs, don't use any microbeads, okay? You're not trying to feed your vag, you're just trying to exfoliate it. Just use like a rough washcloth or a loofah, but still be gentle when using that. Do it about like 24 hours before your appointment. And then as far as hydrating goes, you want to keep the skin hydrated after you get your wax and throughout, which I'll explain why later, but you do not want to put any lotions, creams, oils, or anything like that on before you get your wax. If they're doing their job, they're going to take it off anyways. They're going to powder you down, but it's going to prevent the wax from adhering to your skin. So you should be pretty much dry before you go in. Again, I would say, like I said in my last video, make sure you do shower and just keep up with your cleanliness before going in for the wax. Just don't put any lotions on. And something else that I addressed in my other video that I'll quickly address here is to wear a dress or a skirt. Don't ask me why. Go watch the other video so I can tell you why there, but just wear a dress or a skirt. It's much easier. Another thing that I didn't touch on in my last video that I think is kind of useful before going in for your wax is to prepare some talking points. A lot of people think it's going to be really awkward, and it's not as awkward as it seems. The people there have been looking at bodies all day. They signed up for waxing people. It's no surprise to them that you're going to sit down and get your body waxed, but some people might feel a little awkward. So if you have some talking points and things that you might like to bring up that you think will help distract you and keep you guys talking so there's no awkward silence, try and think of topics like that that are just really light-hearted and fun to talk about. Also, another question that people have is whether or not they can get a wax on their period. For me, I typically don't actually have scheduled my waxes, so right after I get off my period, that's when I go to get a wax. However, some people don't recommend that because within the 5 days of you getting your period and 5 days getting off, your skin is more sensitive. So if you feel like you have a low pain tolerance, you might just want to wait an entire week after your period before you go in to get a wax. But if you have a high pain tolerance, you can either do what I do, or you can go and get your wax done on your period. You just have to wear a tampon, and you should let your wax specialist know beforehand. Some people ask what to do if you get darkness on that area. Some people get darkness, they get the 5 o'clock shadows, and sometimes it's not fair, okay? Maybe it's 3 or 4 o'clock and it arrived early and you're not ready for it. If you have darkness in those areas, over time, your darkness will go away with waxing. If you are a first-time waxer, you are going to have an interesting first experience. After your first wax, you will have kind of like chicken skin, and it might not be completely even. You might still have darkness, and that's just because you've been so used to shaving or doing whatever you're doing that your hair growth cycle is not completely even with each other. So you need to wait for all of your hair to kind of grow the same in order for it to look exactly how you want to look. So you might have darkness after the first time, but again, over time with waxing, the darkness will go away. If you're impatient though, and you want your darkness to go away, then you can use vitamin C serum. I swear by this for all types of pigmentation problems. You can get pure vitamin C oil from a drugstore or a grocery store, but I'd recommend keeping it in like the thigh and bikini line area and not putting it too close to your lady bits, because you don't want to disturb the pH balance down there and cause more problems. As far as ingrown hair goes, you don't really suffer from ingrown hairs nearly as much, if at all, when you get waxes done as you do with shaving. At least that has been my experience. If you feel like you still suffer from ingrown hairs, there are serums that you can get from your wax specialist or wherever you go that can help to prevent and treat ingrown hairs. But my main thing with that is what I was saying earlier with exfoliating and hydrating. If you take care of your skin just as you would your face or the rest of the skin on your body, you should be pretty good. Some people say that they have really sensitive skin, or if you're from the Caucasus Mountains, you might have redness. If you suffer from irritated skin or redness afterwards, then you can use, again, soothing serums that are provided by wherever you go to get waxed, or you can use aloe vera gel to help to soothe the skin. Also, the first time that you get waxed, you might feel kind of prickly, kind of like after you shave for the first time. Do not scratch, do not irritate the skin anymore. Just try and use the aloe vera gel, okay, that's the word. Use the gel and just leave it alone, relax. I'd also recommend sticking to loose clothing for 24 hours after getting your first wax and not exercising or doing anything that causes a lot of friction down there, okay, ladies? Because you need your skin to breathe. Let her breathe, let her relax, let her take a break, okay? She's been through some stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I need to cover in this video. If you guys have any other questions, wax related, that I didn't address in this video, you can leave them down below, but make sure again to check out my Brazilian wax guide video just to see if there's any other questions you might have that might be answered in that one. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm going to get off your screens now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!